And we're sewing and we're sewing and we're sewing. Does it work? Does it work? Okay, shout out to two people on this video. First of all is Furry Little Peach. Furry Little Peach doesn't know me and I don't know her, but I did steal this idea of using a mirror to have my face while I'm doing a tutorial. I saw that she had done it in one of her videos, which is linked below, and I thought it was a very clever idea, so I'm going to try it today. This is a quick and dirty tutorial on doing blanket stitch. The other shout out, because apparently I'm a DJ from 2004, so yeah, shout outs are happening today, is for Brandy of Silver River chair caning, because she came to my class on making taro bags yesterday and she wanted to learn how to make a circle with blanket stitch, because you get a really cool effect where you kind of have like almost like a organic fossil look to it. It looks very cool. So I'm gonna do a video because although we did it in the class, she wanted something to refer to, and I figured I would give it to all of you lovely people, all three of you. So first thing you need to do is, I'm doing this on a light fabric because I figured it would be best for being able to see the process, and I'm using 4 strands of embroidery floss. I don't normally use 4 strands, but I wanted you to be able to see it really clearly. Okay, so that's what we're going to do, is use 4 so that you can see it. You will need some way to mark your fabric if you're just doing it plain and you don't have a design to work from. So to do this in a circle, you need 2 circles as a guide, because there's actually kind of 2 levels to blanket stitch. There's the top part and the bottom part, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. So we're going to do a nice big circle this way. You can also do it as a spiral, but I'm not going to get too complicated. I just want to give you a circle. And yes, the circle is by no means perfect, but that's fine. It's just enough to show you how to follow a design, and I'm going to bring that up here so you can see I've kind of done, looks a little bit like a dodgy fried egg. So 2 circles, one on the outside and one on the inside. Okay, I'm going to zoom in now. There we go. Hopefully you can see that. I'm going to come in a little bit closer. You might not even see me too much. Okay, there we go. So get your needle and thread with your embroidery floss, and the beginning is a little bit strange, so you sort of don't start as you mean to go on. The first thing you're going to do is start on the outside. So I'm going to come up with my needle, so always starting from the back, and my thread is knotted, so we're going to come up and you're going to make one sort of straight-ish stitch that is horizontal. And I'm left-handed, so I'm going from left to right. If you are right-handed, you'll go the opposite direction. Now, as you can see, I'm putting my needle back down onto the edge of the inside circle. And then I'm going to push the tip of the needle up onto the outside circle. When I've done that, I need to make sure that my thread is behind my needle, okay? My thread is behind my needle. It has to be every single time. And then we're going to pull the needle through, and you've got your first blanket stitch. Again, I'm going to do it one more time. So you start from the bottom now and you're going to the top. So you only start from the top on that first stitch, and the rest of the time you're going bottom to top, bottom to top. So you go through, push the tip of your needle up, back through the fabric, trapping the thread behind the needle, and then you're going to pull it through. I'm going to do it kind of ambidextrously, which is not natural, but it's easier to see. Okay. And there you have it again. And that's how you're going to go all the way through, or all the way around. So let me try that one more time. Starting from the inside circle out, going to the outside circle with the thread trapped behind my needle, and try not to push it back into the fabric like I just did, or indeed trap your fabric. There we go. Okay, you can start to see how it looks. Now this is going to be really easy to do because it's a big wide circle, so the stitches are laying really nicely on the fabric. And I'm going to pull this tight again. Okay, having it in an embroidery hoop is really helpful, because you don't want the fabric to get all bunched up, because it will do if you're not careful. And then you're pulling it through again, and you're just going to keep going that way. And we're going to do it one more time. Great. Now, if you're working on a much smaller circle, let's say from this would be your outside one, and then you might have one in the middle. The tighter the circle, which is the smaller the circle and the tighter the curve, the more these stitches will want to pull back to where they were, which means they'll sort of do that a lot more. You want to make sure that they don't do that, because you'll lose the definition in your circle. So if you're working in a smaller curve, you want to hold these as you go along to keep them flat against your fabric and to maintain the tension. So this one is a bigger circle so that you can see it, and it works a lot better because the actual curve is not so tight. But as I said, if it's a smaller circle, you will need to hold these to make sure they don't get pulled this way or the opposite way to the way you're sewing. Because what a lot of embroidery stitches work from, or work because of tension. The tension between the stitches, the way that they've been put on the fabric, but also the fabric. So making sure you've got your tension right with these kind of stitches is really important. Okay, there you go. When you're done, or if you've run out of thread, simply make a small stitch here, and then that's just going to anchor it, and it keeps it in place. And then you put it on the back and weave your threads through the back of what you've already sewn. These are really big stitches, so the more that you can trap your loose end under, the better, so they don't get accidentally pulled out at any point. Okay, hope that helped.